People are asking me what's next when it comes to ICP. Now, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I am not telling anyone to do anything, it's just my personal perspective, I will not be able to know exactly what ICP is going to do next. But at least I can take a look at some posts made by Dominic, which is the founder of Dfinity, about things regarding Dfinity 2.0 and as well as the Internet Computer 2.0. Now, when it comes to this, I still have to wait and see what happens in the long term, but sometimes you like to say, well, take a look at other projects out there like Polkadot. Take a look at what Polkadot 2.0 did. Kind of did nothing. They take a look at other projects, they say, oh, they did a 2.0 in this case, it kind of did nothing. But what do a lot of these projects that are kind of doing a 2.0 as of late have in common? They're kind of doing that at a time when the altcoin space isn't doing the best. So of course, when it comes to a 2.0, so to speak, it might not matter as much because, again, the altcoin space isn't doing the best. It might matter a lot fundamentally, but in terms of the price, it's going to be a completely different case. But with all that, why am I still looking forward to maybe what the Internet Computer could be? Well, it's because if the founder of Dfinity is still trying to strive towards kind of actually improving Dfinity, the Internet Computer, I just don't want to give up like that. If he gives up, then of course, it'd be a completely different story, but he hasn't. And again, I don't have to believe in this. I don't have to not give up or something like that. It's just my personal perspective when it comes to this. I'm just doing this on my own, basically, right? But then why am I choosing to do that? Well, again, it's because I still like the fundamentals of the Internet Computer, and I just don't think I've seen an altcoin season during the cycle. I mean, that's kind of it, actually, if I were to just put it in the most simple way possible, because as of right now, it just doesn't give me the vibe where it's like really that bear market that happened after 2021 type of feeling. Because in the peak of that bull run that year in 2021, there was around 300 million owners within the space. But as of right now, there's supposedly over 600 million. But then even with way more, we're still seeing this as of right now. So then it just feels a little bit to me like, I just don't think I've seen an altcoin season. And I just don't have the vibe where I feel like, this cycle is done and all this. I don't have that feeling, but you know what? Only time will tell, but this is just my perspective. I just feel like I like the factors as of right now a lot better than back then, but then we just haven't seen an altcoin season during the cycle. We have not seen a moment where altcoins generally have kind of outperformed, Bitcoin. We haven't seen that, right? Will we ever see that? Who knows? But I'm just saying, I just don't think I've seen one during the cycle. So yeah, I'm still waiting, and sure, what's next when it comes to ICP? I mean, a lot of things could be next, but in terms of fundamentals, Dfinity is still kind of giving the vibe of that they're still caring about Caffeine AI, self-writing apps platform. They're still caring about the Internet Computer, so at least I can look forward to that. However, when it comes to $100, when it comes to ICP, yeah, it's kind of a ways away because even right now, it's around 22 times lower than that. It's a far ways away, but the market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply, would actually be around 54 billion, which doesn't necessarily seem like such an outlandish figure to me if I consider how Dogecoin reached over 80 billion back in 2021, but I'm just saying. Also on top of that as well, when I take a look at the listings when it comes to ICP, it's not that bad. I know, like, sometimes you have to say, oh, it's not the best and all this. Well, yeah, maybe it's not the best. But even without, like, the best listings out there, I saw ICP not too long ago reach, what, over 18 bucks? And it's not like I saw that the last time 4 years ago or something like that. I just literally saw that, like, not even that long ago. Taking a look at, for instance, back in April of 2024. And what I find also pretty interesting when it comes to ICP was that, again, it was able to reach that without necessarily the best listings out there. So what could it maybe do if there was an altcoin season and let's say the listings just kind of stayed the same, or maybe even, let's say, became a little bit better? Like if, let's say, it did better than back then, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me. Now, granted, people like to tell me, when it comes to this, no one's really going to care about this. Well, I mean, we have to consider, right? Like, ICP is still a top 40 project currently in terms of market cap within the space. Like, many projects out there that have a way lower market cap than ICP, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to do this or do that. Now, granted, I also believe in some projects out there that have a lower market cap than ICP, but then the way you take a look at it is that if some of those projects out there with less listings, not being as popular, not having the same fundamentals as the internet computer. If sometimes people are still saying, oh, they could do this or do that, what makes ICP not able to do that? You know what I mean? Or not even hypothetically maybe surpass that, who knows, right? Keep in mind, even despite the pullback as of right now, the market cap is still holding above 2 billion. Like, it's not a project that has like a $5 million market cap or like 10 million. Like, no, it's actually above 2 billion and it's still a top 40 project currently in terms of market cap. So I don't know why I would just randomly give up like that when it comes to the internet computer, because let's just take a look at Caffeine AI, already over 700 applications built with it so far. Would it be logical for me to assume that there might be more applications built with it if there was an altcoin season? Arguably, I would say yes. So at least I can maybe look forward to that next, hypothetically. I take a look at the talks of Dfinity 2.0 and the Internet Computer 2.0. That's also something that I could hypothetically look forward to, in my opinion. Also, I take a look at, for instance, maybe better listings, who knows? And then also on top of that, I take a look at the Solana and ICP integration, how supposedly Bitcoin DeFi is powered by the Internet Computer. I take a look at the aspects of Ethereum Virtual Machine when it comes to chain fusion, when it comes to the Internet Computer. I have not seen ICP experience an altcoin season with all of this kind of talked about in the way that it is as of right now in the grand scheme of things. Whereas I saw ICP have a pretty okay rally to above $18 not too long ago, and that was not even during an altcoin season, with nowhere near kind of the talks about what we're seeing as of right now when it comes to Caffeine AI and all this type of stuff. So this is why I just haven't given up. I'm just still staying patient, that's about it. Dollar cost averaging, personally for me, I am doing it once a month. I am not telling anyone to do anything, but of course, during a time when a lot of altcoins are having a pullback, I just want to focus on the ones that I do like fundamentally. And I like the Internet Computer for several factors, considering how the market cap is pretty decently sized. It's not too big, but it's not too small either. I also like the fundamentals of the Internet Computer. And also, not to mention, I am a fan of what Dfinity is trying to do, because it feels like to me they're constantly trying to push the envelope. Again, Caffeine AI, these integrations, like for instance Solana, or should I say the Solana and ICP integration, all this type of stuff that they're doing. When I take a look at those reasons right there, it just, again, makes it pretty difficult for me to just give up like that. But, this is just what I'm doing. Personally, in my case, I'm just going to stay patient, and then that's pretty much about it. But of course, do I like seeing low prices? Well, in terms of dollar cost averaging, I wouldn't say I mind. But again, I am trying to dollar cost average, so you know what? If ICP did go hypothetically lower, or let's say it didn't go lower, whatever the case may be, again, I'm just going to be dollar cost averaging once a month, and that's pretty much about it, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, and even though I am not a financial advisor. But that's just kind of my thoughts as of right now when it comes to the Internet Computer. And I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you all have a nice day. It's only the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.